Number 3, Georgia Moore. Number 9, Lucy Cochran. 17 is Annie Collins. 20, Olivia Huffman. 21, Claire Blower. 22, Millie Cracknell. 24, Claire Constable. And 34, PC Lover. Head coach, ladies and gentlemen, is Ellen Hayes. This is funding of Christy Traquair members. With a Ballarat rush. Well, ladies and gentlemen, each and every single week I ran Ray and that's important of the junior here this evening. It won't be any different. Not only is it junior domestic night, but it's also a night we congratulate and acknowledge the true contributions that our 14-5 girls do for the Kilsyth Conference. Thank you to the parents. Big thank you to the mothers as well. It's Mother's Day tomorrow. Big shout out to all you mothers. Fantastic. But yeah, let's give it up to the 14-5 girls. Hayley, Anna, Paige, Shamika, Anna, Lacey, Hannah, Okut, and Lily. Ladies and gentlemen, here on the junior domestic night, we are going to be thanking the terrific contributions we get. So, from the club of Crossover United, we have Olivia and James. From the Eastern Eagles, we have Eva and Mitchell. From the Frosted Phantoms, we have Kate and Blake. From the Kilsyth Heat, Charlie and Chloe. From the Maroonga Magic, we have got Alana and Darcy. From the NLBC Lakers, we've got Talisha. From the Montrose Vikings, Ellie Hamilton. From the Moorback Flushers, Matilda. From the Maryland Meteors, Chelsea. From the SCYC Scorpions, Harper. From the SABC Saints, Mia and Hudson. Give it up for your junior domestic. Introducing you to your Kilsyth Lady Conference number 1, sponsored by EJ's Blind Ross Nicholson. Number 2, Sarah. Number 3, sponsored by M&T Allison Tara Tassari. Number 4, sponsored by Constance Emily Baracus. Number 9, Clara Wisha. Number 11, ladies and gentlemen, Claire Cameron. Number 12, ladies and gentlemen, Alison Downey. Number 14, sponsored by Crossover Basketball, Taylor Mathers. Number 15, sponsored by Double Shot Bobby, Sarah Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of your Kilsyth Lady Conference makes a mean lasagna sponsored by Blue Logistics. That's Sam Roosman. The assistant coach is the Oriental Princess Julia Tan. As well, the assistant coach, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who everyone says is the loveliest man in all the leagues. That's Rick Foley. And your team manager is delightful. He's funny. He's my best friend, Ian Burgoyne. And back in the physio team down there at night, Claire Croydon. Ladies and gentlemen, can we all please be standing as we sing the national anthem? And signing the national anthem is Mitch. the Ballarat Rush and the Kilsyth Lady Cobras.
Welcome to this NBL1 Round 6 matchup between the Kilsyth Cobras and the Ballarat Rush. My name is Liam Ellison and I'm joined by Pete Unwin, the resident Kilsyth commentator and expert. Pete, how are you?
Very good, Liam. Great to be with you this afternoon.
Absolutely. We're in for a very big game tonight. Of course, the Kilsyth Cobras sitting at 3-4 at the moment, while the Rush are looking for their first win.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of work to be done from Ballarat's behalf if they're going to come up and get the W against the Cobras today.
A lot of youth in this Rush team as well. I mean, Georgia Amor, one of the stars for the Rush, only 18 years of age, but nonetheless, 15.5 points per game for her, and obviously a young star of Australian basketball. Meanwhile, for the Kilsyth perspective, a lot of WNBL talent, isn't there?
Yeah, a certain amount of that. They're a very deep unit when they're playing as a strong unit team. They're fantastic back at home. Yet to get a road win at this point in time, but really building on the strength of their 300-plus gamers and their WNBL experience.
So obviously you've watched a bit more of Kilsyth this season than me. Who are some of the players we should be looking for from the Cobras' perspective?
Well, league-leading scorer from last season, MVP Lauren Nicholson, is always going to be a standout for you. But the ones that are really showing some amazing effort, especially on the defensive end, is Downey. He's been absolutely fantastic. Claire Carmack showing her 300-plus games experience. She's always good for 10-5 or 12-5 in that regard. And some of the youngs, Haberfield had an absolutely fantastic game last week.
A lot of experience, and obviously they've spent a bit of time together, this Kilsyth team. And you mentioned Lauren Nicholson, obviously the MVP of the Seabull last year, and coming off probably her best season in the WNBL, winning the Defensive Player of the Year. Recently spent time on the Gold Coast with the Opals, so things are really coming together for her.
Yeah, they noticed a little bit of a gap from Lauren when she was up there on that weekend. I think we were playing COE that particular weekend as well, but Lauren is just going from strength to strength, and I think we're going to see more of her in the national squad going forward.
Absolutely. Well, you never know, there might be a Tokyo 2020 berth for her. We'll wait and see. So we're about 2.5 minutes away from tip-off at the moment. Speaking about the Rush now, I mean, they haven't won a game yet this season, but been somewhat promising so far. I mean, Shanice Jenkins comes back into the side after missing last week, and their leading scorer, Olivia Hackman, 15.75 points per game so far, so she'll clearly be a key, Pete.
She certainly will. Had a stronger game last week with 22-7. She's a strong force inside, and I think Downey will probably get the job on her with interchanging that with Wisher. But she's exciting to watch, and I think she's got a pretty big future ahead of her.
Well, Sarah Booth, I'm interested in her. Obviously, a Melbourne Boomer, came off the bench behind Kayla George last season. I imagine she'd be a force for this Kilsyth team.
Yeah, she's been really, really strong as well. Again, a really good backup defender. She shut down. She spent some really good time on Luella Tomlinson a couple of weeks ago against the Tigers, and did a really strong job there. That entire offense in that particular game was going through Luella, and Sarah was fantastic in limiting her influence on the game.
Yeah, certainly the Melbourne Tigers love to go through both Conti and Luella Tomlinson, a good playmaker for her size. That would have been a great matchup to watch, I imagine. I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to take Booth tonight, because it seems like she might have a bit of a size advantage just looking at both teams warming up right now.
Yeah, certainly will. I think the young gun in Bow, I think she's a Thai national player. She's probably going to be the main one for her to take on. I think she's been a really strong rebounding provider across the league over the last 4 years. She's been in the league for the 4 years with the Seabull program, but a really strong international player for the Rush.
13 points and 9 rebounds per game for Bow, so certainly some experience there. And interesting, we have a bit of the Thai flavour. I wasn't across that, Pete, so that's really great to see here in the NBL1. We're just about a minute away from tip-off here at Kilsyth Basketball Stadium. I'm excited, Pete. It's going to be good.
It's going to be a fantastic one, and it's the locals club round this weekend. So for the association, any of the kids that come in their club colours get in for free. So it's good to see that the crowd is starting to roll in. You won't see that from the footage as well, given the cameras are facing the bench, but the other side definitely got some strong crowd coming in tonight.
Certainly a big crowd right in front of us at the commentators bench, and it's also good to see the Cobras wearing the pink socks for the Mother's Day round, of course, raising awareness for breast cancer as well, so that's good to see.
Great effort, and the coaching staff all in pink as well for both teams, which is absolutely fantastic. And while we're talking about the Mother's Day round, Club Kilsyth and Club Ringwood, fantastic supporters of the Kilsyth basketball program. Great place to go for Mother's Day tomorrow. If you're looking for a venue to take your mum for a special lunch or a fantastic breakfast.
Hopefully, for both these teams, they can get their weekend off to a great start here. The Rush looking for their first win. The Cobras looking to get back to 500. Sarah Booth's ready to take the tip for Kilsyth as they wait for the Rush to enter the floor.
Wish her a Booth, Tassari, and Lauren Nicholson making out the 5 there. Also with Alison Downey.
And for the Rush, it's Bow taking the tip. Amor running the point guard position. Taylor's out there as well, as is Cochrane. And we're underway here. Nicholson straight away driving baseline, but turns it over to Amor. Here they go, the Rush. What can she do here? Kicks it out. And the jumper is good to open the game for the Ballarat Rush, and they're pumped.
Hackman starting off the way she finished off her game last week with a nice pull-up jumper there for 2.
22 points last week for Olivia Hackman. Clearly one to watch for Ballarat. Here's Booth now inside to Nicholson, but blocked by Amor. Big defensive play from the youngster. Comes around the screen. What can she do here? Finds Hackman. And Booth comes back at the other end with a block of her own. And it'll stay with the Cobras.
Nice defensive effort there from Booth. Doing a nice show on that drive from Amor.
So here's Cara Tassari.
She's been playing fantastic as well. She goes in big spurts. She can drop down 12, 15 points in a quarter like that and without any notice.
Ahead to Hackman, but I think it's Wilshire gets the hand in there, so it'll stay with Ballarat. But a bit of a sharpshooter, isn't she, Tassari?
Absolutely magnificent from outside, so she can be completely deadly. You give her too much room and she will definitely make you pay.
And Bow left open, but it's a bit strong. So Downey there gets the tip in and it'll stay with Kilsyth. Booth posting up Bow, but Nicholson opts to settle things down. Here's Tassari. She thought about it.
Wisher coming off, nice screen there.
Shot clock's winding down. Here's Booth. Looks right at home down on the low block to Sarah Booth.
Lovely little baby left-hand hook.
So Hackman rocking the headband for Ballarat. Here's Amor. Comes around the bow screen. Couple of screens for Amor. Thinks about pulling up.
Running low on that shot clock again. 5 to go. They're going to turn it over here. Ballarat.
Good defense there from the Cobras.
Exactly what Wisdom would have requested. A little bit sloppy from both teams to start this one off. But 2-2 with 8 minutes remaining in that first quarter.
The Rush impressive so far with a couple of nice defensive plays, but we're tied here early on. Here's Nicholson, nice jab step, drives in and can't get the lefty layout to go.
Had a shot clock error situation just going on there, but didn't affect the Kilsyth Cobras.
And Amor nearly turns it over.
And that is another turnover for the Rush.
Wayward pass there from Lucy Cochrane. So, yeah, it seems like we've had about 4 or 5 turnovers already, just 2 minutes into this contest.
Coach Hayes won't be happy with that one. Eric, I know he doesn't like the excessive amount of turnovers.
So what can Nicholson do here? He needs to settle things down for Kilsyth. Here's Downey on the wing. Lovely pass to Booth.
Magnificent work from Wisher. There's something that Wisher does really, really well. She'll cut and she has her eyes open the entire time looking for opportunities, and she really connects really well with Booth, especially in that situation.
Sarah Booth doing a great job to present there. Here's Bow on Booth. What can she do here? She's posting up. She's drawn the foul. She'll go to the line for 2. And one opportunity didn't drop on that occasion.
She's a big unit, Bow. Very, very handy inside.
Yeah, I might have underestimated the size of Bow talking about Sarah Booth's height advantage pre-game, because you're spot on. She is a big unit. So the first one drops for Bow. 90% free throw shooter on the year. And 2 of 2 for Ballarat there, taking care of business from the charity stripe. Bit muddled up down low are the Cobras, and they've opens up Booth on the low block. Finds Downey for the mid-range jumper, and it's good.
Fantastic shot from Downey. Noticing that they haven't gone out to the 3, which is a little unusual for Kilsyth. They normally will throw their offense through the 3-point side of things to open up the inside, but they've gone the opposite this week.
Lovely drive there from Georgia Amor, finding the gap, scooping it up and in. Tied at 6 apiece here. It's 3.5 minutes into this one. Here's Taylor to Tasari.
Yeah.
Took me a while to spit that one out. Good pass there from Booth. Nicholson finds Taylor. That one's a bit wayward. And Taylor driving baseline. She'll draw the foul.
It's a big crowd favourite down here, Clara Wisher. She's strong from the line traditionally, but as we've noticed this season, every time we call that from the commentary box, we tend to put the Mozza on the core shooter. And hopefully Clara can prove us wrong tonight.
This one drops for Wisher. As Wisher takes care of business. Pressing up are the Cobras. But Amor breaks through the double. Finds Hackman in the corner. She lets it fly. It's a little strong as Wisher corrals the rebound for Kilsyth. Over to Nicholson on the wing. Straight away inside to Booth. And that just rattles out for it. And they're going to call a foul here on Sarah Booth, I believe.
Unlucky drop on that roll, unfortunately for Booth. She's picking up her second personal, and that is something that she's had a habit of, unfortunately, so far this season, is picking up the early fouls and having to sit out pretty early on.
So Taylor Mathers checks in for Sarah Booth.
They certainly don't lose anything by having Taylor Mathers coming in from a defensive side of things. A little bit of height they lose, but Bow takes a rest at the same time, so evens it up.
Nicholson with a hand in there to come up with the steal for Kilsyth, and yet another turnover in this game. Ballarat starting to look a little shaky on the offensive end. Tasari drives strong on Amor. They've come up with the steal of Ballarat, but Tasari gets in there, and it's going to be a jump ball. Great hustle there from the youngster.
Possession arrow to the rush. One thing you're going to love to see about Tasari tonight is the hustle that she puts on, and this, whether it's full court, half court trapping, she's absolutely fantastic right across the court.
Lucy Cochran. Downey tried to steal it. Here's Blower. And another turnover for the Rush, so it's only early, Pete, but it's been the story of the game so far, really.
Well, 4 turnovers in the first 5 minutes of the game. Eric Hayes is not going to be happy with that. As we've discussed in the past, most coaches like the average of 3 turnovers maximum per quarter. Having 4 in the first 5 minutes is going to make it for a long night.
Here's Nicholson. Pulls up. Amor tries to get the rebound, but it'll stay with Kilsyth as a result. So interesting matchup, this one. Obviously, Nicholson and Amor. Nicholson does have the height advantage, but you feel like the youngster from Ballarat has done all right so far. As on cue, Nicholson from mid-range. And Blower comes up with the rebound for Ballarat.
Unfortunate for Downey there with that putback, but a great offensive board all the same.
Oh, here's Hackman with the floater in the lane. Gets the offensive rebound though, and the second one is good for Hackman.
She's a tough worker, Hackman. It's going to be fun to watch her tonight.
Very athletic wing is Olivia Hackman. Ooh. There was a strong foul there. from Hackman, and she made Carmack work for it really there. So she'll go to the line for 2.
The veteran here last week just brought it home when there was a little bit of doubt creeping in from Kilsyth's perspective. Claire just said, "Jump on my back." I think she came down with about 15, 14 points in the last quarter just to consolidate a really good win for the Cobras.
Wow. 15 points in the 4th period last week.
Exceptional from the line too, Claire.
Right on cue. We didn't mozzo that time. 2 of 2. And here's Jenkins for the rush. She's checked into the game for the first time. And they're doubling Amor in the corner, and she's going to have to throw it off the leg of the Kilsyth defender.
Notice young Cochrane's checked into the game for the rush as well. She's a considerably large young lady there, Lucy Cochrane. Number 9 for the rush.
And 5 points per game for Cochrane. The rush nearly turn it over. Hackman will corral it though.
Good rebounding game last week, Cochrane with 11 in their loss to the Bandits.
And the corner 3 is way off. So here's Nicholson. Pushes the pace ahead but can't handle the pass. Mathers. There's a lot to think about at quarter time for both teams.
Both teams not shooting particularly well from the field. 27%, 3 of 11 for Kilsyth, which is very uncharacteristic for them in the first quarter. Normally come out a little bit stronger than that.
The rush will certainly be happy to see Booth on the bench. You feel like that has changed the complexion of this game just a little bit since. It's going to be Kilsyth ball. What was the call there?
Out of court, unfortunately, from Hackman. Stepped on the line. Good defensive pressure there from Mathers.
Carmack. Here's Nicholson now on the wing. Back to Carmack. The drive to the rim is just off. Comes up with the second opportunity, but blocked by Hackman. So the rush will go the other way. Amor is taking her time. Out to Hackman. Carmack on her. Hackman with the screen. Comes around the other side. And the mid-range jumper is good for Amor.
It's a beautifully wrong step, Carmack, in that play. Open up some space.
Geez, Lauren Nicholson from the wing. A little bit strong on that attempt. Tries to keep it in and does. Good hustle there from Nicholson. Wiltshire. Got Mathers with the screen. Drives hard right. No good on that attempt. But Mathers comes up with it and Wiltshire will shoot this. That one does a dunny roll in.
6 offensive rebounds. 3 in that one play phase. It's not something that Ballarat's going to be allowed to continue to allow the Cobras to do.
Absolutely. 3 in the one possession is a bit of a coach's nightmare. As Cochrane now looks to hand it off to Jenkins. No good, and it's going to be a steal. So Kilsyth come up with yet another steal.
Turnover number 5 for the rush. Or number 6. Nicholson sealing down low.
Lovely move there from Lauren Nicholson.
A little bit of experience there on the Claire Constable.
That's her first bucket of the game for the Kilsyth captain. And Jenkins comes around a couple of screens, pulls up. No good on that attempt as Mathers comes up with the rebounds. Carmack now to send things the other way for Kilsyth. Over to Downey, back to Carmack. Nicholson comes around a screen. The shot off there, so Jenkins will now come the other way for Ballarat. Here's Hackman. Another floater for Olivia Hackman, and she knows how to score, Pete.
It's not a bad effort. 2 points down, 14-12. It's a bit of a scrappy affair, but Ballarat, despite the fact that they're getting beaten on their rebounding count 12-7 with all those 7 offensive rebounds now for Kilsyth and 6 turnovers, they're still in this game. Only 2 points down.
You feel like the Ballarat coaching staff will be pretty happy, as you just said, Pete. And Kilsyth have got a bit to think about. I mean, have been forcing the rush into turnovers, but haven't quite capitalised at the other end.
100%. They need to increase their offensive efficiency down there in the open court, giving themselves an option to get more of those fast breaks. Tassari likes to move the ball quickly, she needs to get a little bit of support with some others. Just while during this timeout break, we'd just like to thank a couple of our supporters in Hoop to Hoop, a great uniform supplier for the Kilsyth Association. Basketball Victoria, who in collaboration with the NBL, putting together this fantastic program of the NBL1, and Swinburne University, always a fantastic supporter of the Kilsyth Association.
It's a big evening tonight here at Kilsyth. Of course, our game of the week up next, second game of the doubleheader.
It's filling up really, really nicely here at the moment. We've had some disappointing crowds over the opening 5 rounds, but a fantastic effort by the association at this stage to get this many here for the women's game to begin with. Bow checking back in for some much-needed rebounding power, although the remainder of the team look like predominantly guards.
Yeah, certainly does seem that way, the 4-guard lineup for the Rush.
When you're down 12-7, hopefully their tenacity on defense is the focus here for this last minute of the opening quarter.
So Freiters into the game as well for Kilsyth. Here's Nicholson in the corner, comes around the Downey screen, pulls up from mid-range, and that one drops for Lauren Nicholson. Just under a minute to go here in the first period. Here's Bow. Geez, Amor pulls up from the wing, and it's an air ball for the Ballarat point guard. So Nicholson now can give the Cobras a boost at the end of the first quarter, and one, Lauren Nicholson.
Veteran smart move there from Lauren Nicholson. Noticed that the defense was falling away on the weak side, took it to her advantage, went all the way to the hole.
Probably an ill-advised reach in there as well from the Ballarat defender.
It was a bit too late for that, and unfortunately putting Nicholson to the line, who again, a fantastic free throw shooter, opening up a potential 7-point break.
And that one, no good on that attempt.
But the offensive board yet again.
Tesari pulls in for a 3-pointer. Cara Tesari, that'll lift the Kilsyth bench.
A 7-0 run to finish this quarter. Ballarat needing a sealer here to just settle them down a little bit.
And wide open here at Ballarat, they make him pay. Laura Taylor with her first points of the game.
A much needed 3-pointer there from Taylor.
Nicholson to end the first period with the buzzer beater. Lauren Nicholson is doing work here for Kilsyth. 23-15 at the end of one. We've got a game of basketball on our hands, Pete.
We certainly do. Fantastic work from Nicholson. The last 4 minutes, putting on 8 points in that 4-minute spurt, giving the Cobras a handy 8-point differential heading into the second quarter. A lot to like from the last 3 or 4 minutes for Kilsyth. Giving up an 8-rebound, an offensive rebound quarter. Hayes is going to have to focus a lot more on securing those defensive boards.
Yeah, certainly a pretty indifferent start for the Cobras, but over the last couple of minutes, as you just mentioned, they've really come to life and opened up an 8-point buffer.
Traditionally, their second quarters are their best quarters for Kilsyth, so look to them to accelerate further into this next part of the game as they head into that halftime break. They like to be able to create a lot of scoreboard pressure leading into the halftime, and we'll see how that plays out over the course of this next quarter.
So Ballarat, a pretty nice start to the game, but as you mentioned, giving up the offensive rebounds and turning the ball over really at too high of a rate. I mean, 6 turnovers already in the first period for the Rush. So a couple of things to clean up there for Coach Hayes.
I'll tell you, speaking of the Rush though, Amor, absolutely a lot to love about that young lady and the way in which she goes about her game. She's very aggressive, a little undersized, but her speed makes up for that, and her aggression is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, Georgia Amor certainly uses her change of speed and a quick step as well. Really, really dangerous off the dribble.
Oh, that play on Carmack earlier. Wrong stepping her, getting herself probably 2 or 3 feet of room to put that 15-footer down was pretty to watch.
So we're just about underway here for the second period between the Cobras and the Rush. Nicholson, Downey, Tesari, Carmack, and Emily Freiters round out the starting 5 for the Cobras.
Freiters, Carmack, and Downey, 3 of probably the best defenders that Kilsyth have within their squad. They provide huge amounts of experience across those 3 players that allows Booth to be able to come in and step in and give some real offensive focus, which you'll probably see in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
So here is Carmack. Down to Nicholson, who finds herself with way too much space, but that one was a bit long. And she gets tangled up with Bow, so the possession arrow is the way of the rush.
Almost giving up another offensive rebound there, but Bow doing the right thing by getting involved in that one.
So a bit of a break in play as we clean up the mess on the floor.
These young Kilsyth juniors do a fantastic job with cleaning up the sweat.
It's always good to see the local youngsters from Kilsyth representatives getting involved in the seniors.
They do a sensational job down here. And they love it. They get really involved in the game, and they get some fantastic seats down there on the baseline.
She's turns it over to Nicholson. An ill-advised pass there on the entry to the low post. Here is Nicholson. Out to Tassari. Finds Carmack now on the wing. Fridays comes with the screen. Go under the screen here. Nicholson thought about shooting it. Gets it down to Downey. She's an air ball, but Fridays comes up with the offensive board and gets the foul call. Good hustle there from the veteran.
Just as that shot clock was expiring. Great defensive pressure from the rush. Unfortunately, again, allowing that offensive rebound to occur, the 9th of the game. And now, as a result, Fridays going to the line to shoot 2. Looking fantastic in her pink socks.
So you feel like outside of Bow for the rush, perhaps they lack a little bit more of a presence down low at this point. Just giving up a few too many offensive rebounds as the second one is no good. Here's Hackman. What can she do here? The leading scorer for the rush. Out to Taylor, into Bow. She backs down Fridays. The double comes, Downey offers it. No call from the referee, but Bow can't get it to drop, so Tassari now the other way.
Fridays doing a great job there with the Bow backing her down for excessive period of time there.
Hackman right up on Nicholson. She gets round here though. Lovely little bank shot from the low block. Lauren Nicholson, smooth move. And straight away puts Jenkins under the pump. Finds a way out of it though to Taylor. Here's Hackman. Over to the corner. The 3 ball is short, but she'll get the offensive rebound. Lovely pass into Bow.
Great work there from Constable to get that offensive rebound off that shorter shot and giving Bow an opportunity to bridge this gap, which sits at 9 points.
Tassari. Back to Fridays. On. Carmack has just cut the wrong way there. Bit of a miscommunication from the Cobras. Here's Constable. Out to Jenkins. Into Bow, but it might be a bit long, and it is. Carmack comes up with the steal. Right idea from Jenkins. Just a bit off with the execution. 26-17 here. The Cobras remain with that now 9-point buffer. Constable and Nicholson getting tangled up. Tassari lets it fly. No good on that attempt, but Fridays comes up with a board. What can Nicholson do here? She's picked up her dribble. Back out to Downey.
Nicholson looking to isolate on the young Constable.
And she gets her way there. Same position as the last one. It rattles home.
12 points for Nicholson to lead all scorers at this time, and that's an 11-point advantage to the Kilsyth Cobras. 7 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
As Hackman pulls up from the mid-range.
Hackman's 8th point, much needed.
Fridays with the screen out to Downey. Nicholson once again trying to isolate on Jenkins this time. Fridays at the top, and Downey thought about it. So it'll be a baseline ball, I believe. Foul on Janice Jenkins.
Downey attempting one of the old school fakes over the top of the head, hoping the player would turn. Jenkins a little bit wise on that one.
So Clara Wilshire checks back in for the Cobras.
Young Lucy Cochran coming in for a little bit of rebounding support for Bow here, hoping to reduce the amount of offensive rebounds.
Downey lets it fly, and it rattles in on the second attempt. Second three-pointer of the game for the Cobras, as Bow draws the foul on Freitas for Kilsyth. Just used their height advantage there nicely, did Bow. A key cog for this Ballarat team. .8 points per game so far this season. So a 10-point margin here halfway through the second period, and a very short free throw there from Bow. It will stay with Ballarat though.
Bow going to take a rest, blow her in for a spell there for Bow. Which was some heavy breathing there on that foul line. I think there's probably a much needed rest.
So into blower, the double comes, lovely pass to Cochrane, and the Rush come up with the 2 points there. Cochrane sensing that blower had drawn the double team, lovely work. So it's a foul on the floor. It'll stay with Kilsyth down on the baseline. Carmack to inbound. Sarah Booth checks back in for the first time since the first period. Freitas checking out, done a fantastic job, the veteran, in her absence. And straight away, Booth will let it go. And it's good for Sarah Booth. Good start for her.
Instant impact off the court. Sarah Booth has a really good range, around about that 17, 18 feet. She's very effective from drawing the defense way out, which gives her guards a good opportunity to penetrate.
Blower at the top, over to Amor. She gives her the screen on Tasari. Amor will shoot it, and the three-pointer drops for Georgia Amor. Just went under on that screen, and she took advantage.
Lead back to 7 points here. Halfway through this second quarter. Kilsyth's advantage.
Lauren Nicholson getting set to check in. Booth gives Tasari the screen. She goes with the floater. That one just rims out, but Booth comes up with the offensive board. Over to the wing. The three-point is no good. Downey trailing for the offensive board. Comes up with it. Good hustle there from the veteran.
I think we're going to be talking about this a little bit throughout the course of this game if it continues in this fashion, but 12 offensive rebounds is the reason why there is a 9-point differential right now, giving Kilsyth second chances when they're as strong as they are across the board. Not the right method for success there for Ballarat.
Just the Ballarat guards out on the wing fell asleep a little bit on that occasion, letting Downey come all the way in to crash the boards. Chucked it right back up and in as soon as she grabbed hold of it. So Nicholson leading all scorers with 12 at the moment. It's Hackman with 8 for Ballarat.
And Amor supporting quite well with 7 points with that lovely three that she just injected into the game.
Once again, Georgia Amor, we've spoken a bit about her. She's been impressive so far, the youngster.
Now, Liam, you're not a local from Kilsyth area, are you?
No, I'm not. I call for the Waverley Falcons normally. That's my local association.
Well, next time you're out this way and you're hungry, Original Joe's Pizza, one of the best local pizza providers and a really great supporter of the Kilsyth Association. We were running a competition here, but I'm looking out, probably more so for the boys' side of things, but we're looking out to see if there's any Original Joe's Pizza signs here tonight. So if you see any, let me know. And that young boy or girl will win themselves an Original Joe's Pizza.
Keep an eye out for the Original Joe signs. Here's the call from Pete as we get underway here after the timeout. Here's Amor on cue. Nice move from Amor, and she gets it to drop.
She's got a lovely bag of tricks, this young lady.
Knows how to find space to get her shot off. Nicholson back into the game, over to Tasari. Downey waving her teammate through. Nicholson, the lovely drive. Good play from Kilsyth there.
14 points now for Nicholson. She's starting to stamp her authority on this game.
Cochrane's found herself in a lot of space here as they've broken out of the press. Hackman comes around the screen. Back to Jenkins. Over to Amor now, and she'll shoot it. That one no good, but Jenkins comes up with the board. Looked like she might have caught a bit of contact there, but no call. Wilshire now for Kilsyth. Good pass to Tasari. Puts her in a little bit of trouble, though, possibly, and it's turned over to Cochrane. Hackman has space here. Passes to Amor. Big block there from Wilshire. Sends it out of bounds. The Amor layup attempt is no good, she says.
Clara Wisher is one of the crowd favourites here, and they absolutely love that block.
Big-time defensive play from Clara Wisher.
It looked like an almost guaranteed 2 points there as they were coming off a turnover from the Cobras.
Nicholson reaches in on Amor. It'll be a foul on Nicholson. First personal for her. So Jenkins now got Nicholson defending her, the WNBL Defensive Player of the Year. Blower gives her the screen. Amor, the lovely cross into the three-pointer. That one's a little short, though. Jenkins comes up with the offensive board. And Hackman will settle things down for Ballarat.
The Rush really starting to bridge that gap in the rebounding count with these offensive rebounds in the last couple of phases.
And Blower rejected there.
Just got to try and create some contact there herself instead of trying to avoid it.
Wide open on the wing, no good on that attempt. As she comes up with the board, it taps out from Booth by the looks. Foul on the floor.
Hackman picking up her second personal foul.
You wouldn't want Olivia Hackman to get into foul trouble if you're Ballarat. A key player for them. It's 36-27 here with 3.5 remaining in the second period. It's a timeout on the floor.
Gives us another opportunity to thank some of our local sponsors. In Just Great Prints, a fantastic organisation there for you if you are looking to print out some of your photos of family or this particular game here today. There's going to be some sensational highlights, especially in the men's game, but some fantastic things occurring here in the women's game so far. And Life Care Sports Medicine, who are our supporters for both our Kilsyth teams here, looking after the well-being of each of the players.
So it is the Mother's Day round, the pink round, raising awareness for breast cancer. Both teams rocking the pink shirts, the coaching staff. The Cobras wearing the pink socks. Looking fabulous, aren't they?
They do look fantastic, and it's a great cause to be supporting. Looking forward to seeing how the men support the pink round, if they do.
You can actually see, it looks like one of the Ballarat forwards has some pink shoes down on the baseline, so we're looking forward to seeing them later.
They are fantastic looking shoes. It's good to see Justin Schuler back coaching the Cobras this week for the men's program.
Here's Wisher. Finds Downey for the little floater. No good on that attempt, but she comes up with it. Nicholson will let it fly. No good on that attempt. So Janice Jenkins comes up with the board there. Couple of attempts for the Cobras. Didn't come to fruition, though.
Not shooting fantastically from three at 1 of 7, 13% for the Cobras. 2 of 8 for the Rush, so not that much better.
Certainly wouldn't want to continue to give Nicholson that space, though, either. As Hackman finds a bit of space down on the mid-range. Lovely there from Hackman.
She's been a valuable addition to the program for the Ballarat Rush. Her American experience and her international experience it's certainly paying off for them at this point in time.
Downey straight away into Nicholson. She's got Amor on her. Finds Booth. She's the air ball from Booth. It was a good pass from Nicholson.
She could have turned and taken that shot, Nicholson, as well. But very unselfishly giving Booth the opportunity.
Had the smaller Amor on her. So Ballarat no good on that attempt. Here's Wisher. Booth getting down on Amor. Bow comes to help and turns it over to Jenkins.
Kilsyth starting to rack those turnovers up now.
Shaky couple of plays for the Cobras. Here's Amor. Cochran thought about giving it down low to Bow. Jenkins now. The shot clock's winding down. Bow will let it fly. That one drops for Bow. Her first three-pointer of the game. Found a bit of space as Jenkins was doubled. It's under 2 minutes remaining here. It's back to a 4-point margin, Pete.
1:40 left in this half, and that's exactly where Ballarat would like to be going into the halftime break. Still plenty of time left for Ballarat to get this to even keel. Unfortunately for the rush, Ballarat will go to the line to shoot 2 as they are in the bonus.
So substitution on the floor. Laura Taylor checks in for Olivia Hackman. Nice couple of minutes here for Ballarat. Getting themselves right back in this game. Nicholson to shoot 2. She's up to 15 now. 93% from the line so far this season for Nicholson. Doesn't let too many of these opportunities go to waste.
Kilsyth will want to try and get a couple of stops here to swing the momentum back in their favour, increase this 6-point differential going into the half.
And with Hackman checking out, it might be a chance here for the Cobras to possibly open up a double-digit lead. As a nice move from Bow results in a foul call. She'll head to the line for 2.
Alison Downey reaching in a little bit there, wanting a bit of support from the refs for some chest contact from Bow's elbow. But unfortunately, her slap on Bow's arms is going to send Bow to the line.
So Downey and the referee come to a conclusion by the looks, and Bow now to shoot 2. Been an important player so far in this one for Ballarat. And the second one rattles in, so it is back to a 4-point margin here as we come to the end of the first half. What can they do here with a minute and a half remaining? Over to Downey.
Looking to get Booth in on the younger. Oh, nice movement around the key from Booth, opening up an opportunity there. Downey knocking it down from the elbow.
Just fell in there for Downey. Lovely movement there from Kilsyth. Bow at the top now. Hands it off to Jenkins. Comes around the screen. Pulls up. That one's a little strong though, and Nicholson will corral the rebound. 50 seconds on the clock here. She's pushing the pace. Straight away into Booth, and Jenkins comes up with the steal, gets a hand in. What can Laura Taylor do here? And straight away, Wisher does the same. She'll go in for an easy 2, and no! It's missed. Wisher comes up with the offensive board. It's chaos here at the moment at Kilsyth, and it'll be... What's the call on the floor?
The foul's been called on young Cochrane for the Ballarat rush going over the top of Nicholson, giving Kilsyth an opportunity to shoot 2. Nicholson will go to the line to extend her points scoring ability of 16 points so far this quarter. This half.
Having herself a big evening is Lauren Nicholson. Bit of a chaotic few moments there.
Considering she didn't score her first points until about 3 or 4 minutes left in the first quarter and finished it off with a flurry, she's definitely stamped her authority in this game.
Yeah, she's having her way at the moment, Lauren Nicholson.
Hackman's checking back in to try and ease the pain that is being inflicted by Nicholson.
25 seconds remaining. Jenkins has the ball for Ballarat. They trail by 8. A bucket would be very much welcomed by Coach Hayes. Over to Amor on the wing. Shot clock down to 8 now. Amor assessing her options. Hackman wasn't expecting it. Stays with her though.
2 seconds.
Has to shoot it and does, but it's no good. And Nicholson comes up with it. 3 seconds to go. She chucks it up. And that'll do it for the end of the first half. 42-34 here. Kilsyth lead at the end of the half. Ballarat looking good at the end there, but Kilsyth looking dangerous with Lauren Nicholson leading the way with 18 points.
Just when it looked like Ballarat was going to creep back into it, Lauren Nicholson steps up. Puts on another 4 or 6 points there towards the end, just to bridge that gap, take the momentum away from Ballarat. It's an 8-point differential, so there's still a lot of play left in this particular game, and Hayes wouldn't be overly concerned by the differential in that situation. What he needs to focus on really heavily is limiting their second chance points opportunities. Again, we look at the offensive rebounds for Kilsyth in that particular quarter. They accrued another 6 offensive rebounds to add to their 8 from quarter 1. It's something that Coach Hayes is going to have to try and get his young chargers to control.
Yeah, absolutely. You feel like Ballarat controlled the turnovers a little bit better in that second period. I believe they had 7 at the end of one. They now have 11 turnovers in the game. Looking after the ball a bit better. Their offense has been looking good. Hackman and Amor creating opportunities. Bow as well looking dangerous. But as you said, Pete, it is that offensive rebounding that they need to clean up.
The turnovers that count, 11 for the total half for Hayes and the rush. Not as bad in that situation for that particular quarter. They cleaned that up a little bit, but it's the defensive pressure that Kilsyth's placing on them, especially in the half court, in the front court, that is causing some grief for the young guards there at the rush. Now, one thing I wanted to have a chat with you about, Liam, is in round 5. Young Steph Reed, 50 points. 50 points.
Unbelievable.
It's amazing. In a 40-minute game scenario, 50 points to shoot 19 of 25 from the field, 7 of 8 from the 3. That was a pretty sensational effort, but that's not where it ended. 10 assists and 7 steals. She almost had a triple-double in assists and steals with 50 points.
That is unreal. And when I saw that stat line, I was shocked, Pete. I mean, as you said, nearly a triple-double with steals. 50 points, and they absolutely blew out Launceston, who are by no means an easy beat.
No, exactly right. They're certainly missing Nicholson from last season coming across, and Kilsyth did a great job in acquiring Nicholson's support. But no, a fantastic unit, really well coached down there at Launceston. But Steph Reed, I can't speak highly enough about that young gun and her opportunity. And it was a team effort along the board in regards to that as well. So congratulations, Steph. The league's all talking about you and the way in which you went about that 50-point effort, but certainly was a fantastic game on her behalf.
Absolutely. Getting her name out there, Steph Reed. We saw her as well on NBL1 overtime during the week, so that was fantastic to see her get her moment. I think it was with the Dandenong Rangers last year, so could be in line for another WNBL gig after that. Well, we'll be back in about 5 minutes to give you the second half of this game. We'll see you then. Sarah Booth doing a great job to present there. Here's Bow on Booth. What does she do here? She's posting up. She's drawn the foul. She'll go to the line for 2. And one opportunity didn't draw. Now, good pass there from Booth. Nicholson finds Taylor. That one's a bit wayward. And Taylor driving baseline. She'll draw the foul. That one out. Good pass there from Booth. Nicholson finds Taylor. That one's a bit wayward. And Taylor driving baseline. She'll draw the foul. Very athletic wing is Olivia Hackman. Ooh. There was a strong foul there. Very athletic wing is Olivia Hackman. Ooh. There was a strong foul there. Mathers comes up with it, and Wilshire will shoot this. That one does a dunny roll in.
Nicholson sealing down low.
Lovely move there from Lauren Nicholson.
Nicholson sealing down low.
Lovely move there from Lauren Nicholson. Now come the other way for Ballarat. Here's Hackman. Another floater for Olivia Hackman, and she knows how to score, Pete. Now come the other way for Ballarat. Here's Hackman. Another floater for Olivia Hackman, and she knows how to score, Pete.
Of the opening quarter.
So Freiters into the game as well for Kilsyth. Here's Nicholson in the corner, comes around the Downey screen, pulls up from mid-range, and that one drops for Lauren Nicholson.
The opening quarter.
So Freiters into the game as well for Kilsyth. Here's Nicholson in the corner, comes around the Downey screen, pulls up from mid-range, and that one drops for Lauren Nicholson for the Ballarat point guard. So Nicholson now can give the Cobras a boost at the end of the first quarter, and one, Lauren Nicholson ball for the Ballarat point guard. So Nicholson now can give the Cobras a boost at the end of the first quarter, and one, Lauren Nicholson.
Break.
And that one, no good on that attempt.
For the offensive board yet again.
Tisari pulls in for a three-pointer.
Break.
And that one, no good on that attempt.
For the offensive board yet again.
Tisari pulls in for a three-pointer with her first points of the game.
A much-needed three-pointer there from Taylor.
Nicholson to end the first period with the buzzer beater. Lauren Nicholson is with her first points of the game.
A much needed three-pointer there from Taylor.
Nicholson to end the first period with the buzzer beater. Lauren Nicholson is... Go under the screen here. Nicholson thought about shooting it. Gets it down to Downey. She's an air ball, but Fridays comes up with the offensive board and Go under the screen here. Nicholson thought about shooting it. Gets it down to Downey. She's an air ball, but Fridays comes up with the offensive board and scorer for the rush. Out to Taylor, into Bow. She backs down Fridays. The double comes, Downey offers it. No call from the referee, but Bow. Second three-pointer of the game for the Cobras as Bow draws the foul on Fridays checking out. Done a fantastic job, the veteran, in her absence. And straight away, Booth will let it go. And it's good for Sarah Booth. Good start for her. Fridays checking out. Done a fantastic job, the veteran, in her absence. And straight away, Booth will let it go. And it's good for Sarah Booth. Good start for her. Off. Nicholson back into the game. Over to Tassari. Downey waving her teammate through. Nicholson, the lovely drive. Good play from Kilsyth there. Shot off. Nicholson back into the game. Over to Tassari. Downey waving her teammate through. Nicholson, the lovely drive. Good play from Kilsyth there.
Just got to try and create some contact there herself instead of trying to avoid it.
Wide open on the wing. No good on that attempt. As she comes up with the board, it taps out from Booth by the looks.
2 of 8 for the rush, so not that much better.
Certainly wouldn't want to continue to give Nicholson that space though either, as Hackman finds a bit of space down on the mid-range.
2 of 8 for the rush, so not that much better.
Certainly wouldn't want to continue to give Nicholson that space though either, as Hackman finds a bit of space down on the mid-range. Cochran thought about giving it down low to Bow. Jenkins now. The shot clock's winding down. Bow will let it fly. That one drops for Bow. Her first three. Cochran thought about giving it down low to Bow. Jenkins now. The shot clock's winding down. Bow will let it fly. That one drops for Bow. Her first three.
Into the half.
And with Hackman checking out, it might be a chance here for the Cobras to possibly open up a double-digit lead. Well, welcome back here for your round 6 NBL1 matchup between the Kilsyth Cobras and the Ballarat Rush. We've just witnessed the first half. My name's Liam Ellison. I'm joined with Pete Unwin. Pete, how'd you see the first half?
Look, it's been it was a little sloppy to begin with. I think they picked things up quite nicely, both teams. Turnovers for Ballarat Rush were a bit of a challenge, but they've kept this game within reach. 8-point differential with a half to play, given the fact that they've given up 14 offensive rebounds and 11 turnovers. If they can clean that up, they'll bring this back and it'll be a little bit closer.
Kilsyth threatening to pull away, it felt like there early on in the second period, but Ballarat really rallied behind the play of Amor and Hackman and Bow as well. Rebounding the ball really hard and even chipping in with a three-pointer.
Yeah, all 3 of those players are going to be big contributors. Well, they'll need to be big contributors in this second half to bridge this gap. Nicholson being absolutely sensational as she normally is at 18 points already in this particular game. They'll look to her to push the tempo, and Tassari yet to really have a big impact in this side of things. Kilsyth only 1 of 8 from the three-point line, not characteristically that low. They would normally be somewhere around about that 30-40% mark. So I would say if they open up opportunities, because they're shooting really well from the 2 with 50% field goal percentage, but if they open up the key a little bit more, and their shooters, especially Carmack in the corner, she absolutely loves the far left corner down here in this second half. Look for her to be a little bit more active. But Tassari, I think, will be a big contributor this quarter.
Sharpshooter is Cara Tassari. They certainly wouldn't want to give her much more space. Hasn't had a few drop yet, but certainly can catch fire in an instant.
Certainly can. Underway now.
So Nicholson over to Wisher. Here's Booth on the wing. Kilsyth moving the ball around here to start the second half. Nicholson's found herself open in the corner, but blocked by Cochran. Really good closeout from the youngster.
Long arms on Cochrane, getting a hand to that shot. Coming off a double screen, Nicholson baseline, with Booth pretending to go into the post, with Bow getting caught behind her.
And here is Sarah Booth. Not on that occasion, though, as Laura Taylor corrals the rebound for Ballarat. Here's Amor now. Cochrane at the top. Back to Taylor. Nicholson's right up on her, and it will be a foul call. Taylor doing a good job there to draw the foul on Nicholson.
Nicholson picking up her second personal starting this third quarter. Nothing to be too overly concerned about.
So Tassari denying Amor. Into Bow, though. Bow to set the screen for Amor. Nice crossover and step-through move from Georgia Amor. She knows how to find her way to the basket, doesn't she?
She certainly does. I think that's a name we're going to see a lot more and hear a lot more of over the years. She's a lot to like about Georgia Amor.
Geez, Booth will let it fly, and that one drops for Sarah Booth.
And she can certainly hit it from there. Bale's going to have to be really aware of the fact that Booth has some considerable range.
Up to 9 points in the game is Sarah Booth.
And 9 point is the differential for Kilsyth at this point in time, starting this third quarter off strongly.
So here's Hackman, comes around the Cochrane screen. Bow's got space. She'll shoot the three. Made one in the first half. No good on that occasion, though. Here's Wisher on the fast break. Amor slows her up, though. Tassari over to Downey. And Sarah Booth is open again. She just made one on the last play, and they wanted to shoot it again. No good on that occasion, though. Jeez, Hackman has turned it over. A little bit of chaos. Downey passes ahead to Wisher. And she takes care of business and one.
Beautiful up and under there from Clara Wisher, going to the line to shoot three the old-fashioned way. But fantastic work from Downey to force that turnover. A little surprised that Booth had so much room for that three-pointer in that last one, given the fact that she'd nailed that top of the key, or top of the top of the three-point line, just in that previous play phase.
Yeah.
So we now 11-point differential now.
It's a little bit strong there from Clara Wisher. So Nicholson coming up, and they've turned it over. No, they haven't. Amor corrals it nearly. Another lovely move from Amor, but that one no good. Cochrane is fouled. She'll head to the line for two. And once again, Georgia Amor making things happen for the rush.
Downey requesting the travel, not realising that Wisher got all arm. Downey doing a fantastic defensive effort there, but Cochrane able to get that rebound and go to the line to shoot two.
And for a second there, you thought the turnover was on for Kilsyth. Nicholson came with a double, but it ended up being advantage Ballarat as Amor found her way inside, and Cochrane makes one of two there.
Back to a 10-point game. 2 minutes into this third period.
Wisher on the wing. Nicholson coming around a couple of screens. Here's Booth. Hands it off to Wisher. She'll pull up from the mid-range. And it's nearly bounced in off the top of the backboard. She comes up with the rebound as Wisher. Here's Tassari. Downey to Tassari. Booth will give her the screen. Ops against it. Good defense from Amor and Bow. What's the call here? It's going to stay with Kilsyth. Tassari did a great job there to put it off the leg of Laura Taylor.
2 seconds remaining on the shot clock. They're going to have to get an option up here very, very quickly.
And Hackman unawares. And Nicholson makes her pay.
The pass just creeped behind Hackman's back, straight to Nicholson for three in the corner from Claire Carmack's position.
Amor again with the crossover. Back out to Bow. She thought about it. Wants Hackman to cut, and she does. What will they do here? The shot clock winding down. Amor's going to have to shoot it. Good defense there from Tassari.
Fantastic defensive pressure, Kilsyth, forcing that shot clock violation and the turnover. And the momentum swing has already occurred in this at the start of this third quarter. 13-point differential for the Kilsyth Cobras to lead this game. And Claire Carmack has come in, giving Tassari a rest. Expect Carmack to go down into that left corner there, Liam. It's her favourite position.
I'll be waiting for it, Pete. We just saw Lauren Nicholson hit one in the same spot, and here she is on cue. Lauren Nicholson. Booth has got some space. That one's a little short. Cochrane, no. Wisher comes up with the steal there. Here she is, Claire Carmack.
Wisher with a 6th rebound. Very, very handy inside Wisher, both at the offensive and defensive end, but she works so hard to give her team as many opportunities as they can. Mathers checking in now as Booth takes a well-earned break.
Had 2 fouls early, Sarah Booth. Hasn't picked one up since. Done a great job of staying out of foul trouble. Here's Wisher. Nicholson round the Downey screen. She'll pull up. No good on that occasion for Lauren Nicholson. So here's Olivia Hackman, the leading scorer so far this season for the Ballarat Rush. Muscles her way in and draws the foul.
Her aggression is fantastic. She's strong off the dribble, and her first step is a very, very quick first step. Jenkins looks like she's going to be checking in for Hackman potentially, if Hackman is successful with her second free throw.
So interestingly, Olivia Hackman, 17 points per game, but only 52% from the free throw line this season. So something that hasn't gone right so far for her this year as she makes the first. Although as we're still in the early rounds of the NBL1 competition, some of these percentages still need to be fleshed out a bit as she goes 2 from 2. Jenkins to check back in. Nicholson checking out for Kilsyth.
Haberfield getting some opportunity on court for the first time tonight. A great young local and junior of the Kilsyth program.
Love to see those juniors come up and represent the senior team. It's good to see. The feeder program's working nicely as Wisher to Mathers. The fan travel.
Few too many steps there for Wisher.
Bow to inbound. Here's Jenkins. Carmack on her. Taylor, a nice V-cut. It'll stay up top, though, with Cochrane. Downey on her, pushing right up. Bow's got Mathers down low. Downey comes to help, though. They double her. Nice pass into Cochrane. She's fouled. Can't get the N1 opportunity to go, but Lucy Cochrane will head to the line for 2.
Wisher being caught there with, unfortunately, Cochrane's player kicking across to help out on Bow, and Wisher being forced to defend 2 players and picking up that foul. Cochrane to the line.
So it's back to a 10-point margin. Ballarat hanging around, but with 5.5 minutes remaining here in the third, you wouldn't want to see a double-digit margin at three-quarter time if you were Ballarat.
Be very difficult to come back from, especially with a strong home crowd here at Kilsyth. They'll be very supportive in this last quarter.
And building as well. We're having a nice crowd in tonight by the looks, as Wisher will find her way to the free-throw line.
Cochrane picking up her 3rd personal.
Six points in the game tonight for Clara Wisher. 6 rebounds as well to go with it, and 3 steals and a block. So she's been active in this one. First one drops for Wisher, sending it back to a double-digit margin. Jenkins and Amor running the guard positions for the Rush. They come up and double. Amor's got herself some space. Still slows it up. Back up to Jenkins at the top. Amor.
Oh, that step back was pretty.
She's just couldn't get it to go, but Lucy Cochrane with the offensive rebound. Amor's footwork, really impressive in this one.
Great view for us within regards to that play. She stepped back probably about 6 feet on that step back. Looked fantastic.
Certainly really adept at creating space is Amor. Low will check back in for Bow. Two personal fouls in the game for Bow. Carmack inbounds.
Not sure what occurred there. Turnover for Kilsyth. Ballarat ball. Blower playing some extended minutes in this game today, averaging about the 10-minute mark per game.
Haberfield checked in just before. She's pressing right up on Amor, but once again, coming around the screen, creating the space. That one no good, though, from Amor.
Great defensive pressure from young Haberfield. Got caught up on that screen, which was a fantastic screen, giving Georgia that extra space, but not giving up, getting a hand to that shot.
Downey over to Wisher, comes around the Downey screen. She's got Cochran on her, drives hard, and draws the foul in one. Clara Wisher is having an impact in this game, Pete.
And that is Cochran's 4th personal. She will be sitting, you would expect right now, unfortunately picking up a pretty vital foul with a quarter and a half to go. But Wisher really starting to become a big contributor in this particular game. She's very consistent. She does the little things on a regular basis, and she racks up those points and those statistics, especially on the rebounding and the defensive side of things as well. A valuable asset for Coach Woosnam.
And she's been really impressive, especially in this third period, as Olivia Hackman checks back in for Lucy Cochran. Hackman with 3 fouls of her own, so the Ballarat with a little bit to think about here, fouls-wise. Here is Hackman, Haberfield on her. Back out to Jenkins.
Crowd starting to get a little bit more into this game as they can see the lead extending.
Amor steps back, no good again on the mid-range jumper. Those long twos just not dropping at the moment for Amor.
Wisher picking up her 7th rebound.
Carmack will let it fly from deep. Jeez, nearly went down as well for Kilsyth. Downey comes up with the board. It's going to stay with Kilsyth. Foul on the floor.
Hackman picking up her 3rd. Starting to become it's going to become a bit of an impact for Eric Hayes coming into this final quarter if her girls continue, her bigs continue to pick up those fouls.
Claire Constable back into the game for Taylor. Downey gets the first one to drop for Kilsyth. So Clara Wisher, 2.2 steals per game so far this season, Pete. Clearly a really defensive specialist almost.
Very, very active defensively. Her and Downey are very similar players in a lot of ways. If you look at their statistics right now, 11-7 and 10-7, with 5 assists to add to Downey's 10-7 in that regard as well. But defensively, they are so versatile. They can take on much taller and much smaller opponents than what their size allows normally, but very, very effective across the board.
Here is Downey. Nearly comes up with the steal to Jenkins, but she tosses it out of bounds. Downey.
She created good space for herself there, but that spin, unfortunately, enabled her to lose a little bit of control and unable to get that pass out to Haberfield.
So it's a timeout on the floor. It's out to a 14-point margin with 3.5 minutes remaining in the third period. It's starting to get to danger signs here for Ballarat. With 3.5 minutes remaining, if they can go on a 6 or 8-0 run, they might get back into it, but it is looking dire at the moment for Ballarat.
It certainly is. They haven't been able to get a score for the last 2 or 3 minutes. 5-0 run for Kilsyth at this point in time. And Kilsyth has a habit of making their third quarter their championship quarter to try and extend that lead out to give themselves a little bit of flexibility and a little bit of freedom in that last quarter. But it's definitely an uphill battle here for Ballarat. And the foul trouble with Cochran isn't going to help. It means that Bow doesn't get as much of a support on the rebounds. Cochran has been handy, averaging 6 rebounds a game, 11 in her last outing against the Bandits. But Bow is going to need that support from Blower now to counteract the fact that Cochran is going to be sitting for some extended minutes now.
And Olivia Hackman, she's still in the game. She's about to check back in, but has 4 fouls of her own as well. So a lot to be worried about there for Ballarat. Lauren Nicholson's also had an extended break for Kilsyth here.
Luckily, it's had no negative impact on the Kilsyth's lead.
They've taken care of business in her absence, absolutely. Here's Jenkins. Finds Blower. Booth comes up, and Amor is open on the wing. She lets it fly. Booth will come up with a rebound. Claire Constable a little bit out of her depth on that rebounding contest.
There, that's for sure.
Haberfield over to Wisher. Nice round the back move. Thought about shooting it, passed it inside to Sarah Booth. What a play from Clara Wisher.
Magnificent around the back crossover, drawing the defense, giving it into Booth. Booth going up and under. It was fantastic. Beautiful to watch. 16-point lead, biggest margin of the game. It's starting to become a bit of a mountain for Ballarat to overcome.
Kilsyth Cobras on a roll in this third period as Jenkins on cue gets it to go for Ballarat from long range.
First points for the captain of this game.
Here's Haberfield. She can shoot it if she wants. Opts to hold it up. Back out to Wisher. The player of the third period probably so far. Here's Haberfield again. Comes round Amor. Nice pass into Freiters.
Smart little pass there from young Haberfield. Sarah's just a class act. Does all the hard things. Makes everyone else look fantastic.
Amor hands it off to Jenkins. Hit a big three on the last play. Steps through on Haberfield. Nice pass to Constable. She lets it go. Ballarat looking for back-to-back threes. No good on that occasion. Here's Carmack the other way for Kilsyth. She's pushing the pace there to Haberfield. Booth in the post. Constable came with the double there and forced Booth into a turnover.
It's Kilsyth's 10th turnover for the game. Not normally ones to throw the ball away too often. But when you're 15 points up with a minute 47 remaining in the third quarter, throwing one away every now and then is probably not going to cause too much grief for Coach Wisnam.
Big couple of minutes coming up here. Kilsyth looking like they might be about to run away with it. What can Ballarat do to respond? Here's Hackman. Georgia Raymore, she's been getting herself busy. Jenkins hit a three a few moments earlier.
Great defensive efforts there from Booth and from Carmack.
Amor driving hard, draws the foul, scoops it up and in, and one.
I love everything about watching this young lady play. She is fantastic, she's energetic, and she takes everyone on.
Does a fantastic job at getting to the basket, creating space. Can step through, step back as well. Really crafty young point guard for Ballarat. As she converts on the and one play.
So we're back to 12 points, Liam. They can get this under 10 going into the three-quarter time break. They have to think they're still in there with a chance.
Absolutely. They can come up with a stop here, but Kilsyth got another crack at it. Yet another offensive rebound for them.
Offensive rebound number 19, Liam.
Wow, 19 offensive rebounds. That is quite a story, Pete. But here come Ballarat, a minute remaining. Amor again. Oh, what about that for a crossover from Georgia Amor? Can't convert though. Booth comes up with the rebound.
Kilsyth really need to get this one to just maintain that momentum. Not give Ballarat any chance or a sniff of thinking that they're back in this game. And on cue,
Clara Wisher gets it to go. And you're right, if they can get a couple of buckets, take the momentum into the last period, it's going to be hard to overcome. Clara Wisher been outstanding here in this third period. Amor once again, another crossover, finds the space, passes inside to Jenkins. Jeez, Amor is making things happen here at the moment.
She certainly is. She's taking the responsibility of keeping the rush in this game on herself and doing a great job of it.
A real leader of this Ballarat rush team is the 18-year-old Amor as Haberfield from the corner. And the crowd lets out a collective sigh as it doesn't drop, but it is a 12-point margin here at the end of three. We're in for an interesting finish, Pete.
Look, the challenge, I think, for the Rush is going to be their foul trouble. With three of their players, well, two of their main players experience a little bit of pressure there. But this offensive rebounding count, we've talked about it quarter by quarter by quarter, and it keeps increasing. But 19 offensive rebounds. It's a credit to Kilsyth. It's a credit to the likes of Wisher, Booth, and Downey, who are doing so much heavy lifting in that regard. But it is certainly creating a lot of headaches for the Rush.
And extraordinarily, I mean, 19 offensive rebounds in itself is quite a ridiculous stat, but they have more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds at this point of the game, which is remarkable.
It's completely remarkable. Everything else in the game, if you look at the statistics across the board, they're very even. 42% for both from the field, 29 and 21% from three. the free throw percentage, 85 and 82%. It's all very, very similar. The difference here is that there's 55 field goal attempts to 43, and they're coming from those second opportunities.
And the turnovers as well. I mean, that was a problem early for Ballarat, but since they've cleaned it up, I mean, only 2 turnovers in that period for Ballarat. So you're right, it really is all the tale of the offensive glass. As we see out on the floor, we've got a bit of a half-court shot competition going on.
We haven't had anyone touch the backboard of the ring just yet, so not as exciting as what everyone would have probably hoped, but all the same, it's great for these dads to go out there and have an opportunity.
Yeah. And, gee, this crowd just keeps building and building. It looks like we're in for a really big night here at Kilsyth.
I think it's going to be fantastic. The atmosphere is starting to heat up. I think this last quarter will get Kilsyth becoming the crowd becoming more and more involved as they see their girls extending this particular lead or just taking control of this game. It'll be interesting to see the build-up into the men's game and what type of atmosphere they can create, because they're going to need all the support of every single person in this stadium to be able to get over the might of this Ballarat Miners program.
NBL1 game of the week coming up next between the Miners and the Cobras. And we're here for the Rush and the Cobras right now. Great game going on. It's a 12-point margin. Stars on both teams. Lauren Nicholson has checked back in for Kilsyth. Turns it over. Wilshire comes up with it. And on cue, here's Lauren Nicholson. An easy 2 for her. She's up to, I believe, 24 points in this game.
So they've gone back to their starting 5 just to add some more salt into the wounds and immediately have 2 turnovers to start the final quarter.
How about that? I mean, 2 turnovers in the third period, and they've come out and gone back-to-back possessions. Turnovers for Ballarat. So Coach Hayes will be disappointed with that.
Yep. Nice inside pass there from Wisher.
Booth's jumper was a little bit flat there. So here's Jenkins now. Kara Tassari checking back in as well for Kilsyth. Some of their role players there were really good in that third period. Did a fantastic job in the starter's absences. Jenkins drives hard, flips it up. No good, though, on that occasion. And passes it ahead to Nicholson. Another easy 2 for the Cobra star.
Nicholson kicking out to 25 points. Getting off the break on those last 2 possessions. They've scored 4 points just in this quarter in the last minute, and it's all come from fast break transition.
Wisher coming up with another block. What a defensive player Clara Wisher is. She passes it ahead quickly to Fridays.
Yeah, she's exciting to watch.
Booth down low on the low block, takes advantage.
Unfortunately, Cochrane with the 4 fouls can't do much more than put her hands in the air and hope. But that's forcing that 6-point start in the first minute and 20 seconds for Kilsyth, forcing Coach Hayes to call a timeout for the Ballarat Rush.
Has not gone to plan for Ballarat to start the 4th period. A few turnovers. Clara Wisher again having her way in this game.
18 points the lead with 8:38 left in this game, Liam. Do you think it's possible that Ballarat can get back into this one?
Geez, I'll tell you what, everything would have to go right from here for Ballarat. If it's going to happen, it's going to start from this timeout.
I think it would. Some Gatorade might help them. Some Powerade might help them. But I think Powerade, probably by the Coca-Cola Amatil Company, who are a great supporter of Kilsyth and Basketball Victoria, it's probably not going to be enough, I don't think, Liam.
I think
but
you might be right.
Know. They could be playing for the way in which they finish this middle part of the season to try and get their season on track. Still searching for their first win.
And there's been some things to get excited about from the Rush perspective. Obviously haven't put it all together with the offensive rebounding and the like, but I mean, you know, Amor's been fantastic. We've been loving her game tonight. Hackman as well has been fantastic this season. And Bow down low for the Rush.
They just need a little bit more support there for Bow. Cochrane's a great young and up-and-coming player. She's got some great height on her, but probably just lacks that little bit of experience, and that'll come with more playing time, and there's a lot to love in watching her game. They probably need a couple more bigs to really be support for Bow.
Certainly tough when you have to combat the likes of Sarah Booth and Clara Wisher, obviously, and Downey. There's a lot of options as Amor steps back into a shot, but those mid-range twos just haven't been dropping for her. Tassari throws it ahead to Sarah Booth and can't get the layup to go, unfortunately. She's frustrated.
Frida's able to get that loose ball, however, acquiring yet another offensive rebound for Kilsyth. And Kilsyth will get one more chance out of 13 seconds on the shot clock.
There's a pinpoint pass ahead as well to find Booth down low. Pity she couldn't convert. Nicholson has it tapped out to Fridays. Here's Wisher. Nicholson. Wisher will shoot it. That one's a bit off though. Taylor corralling for Ballarat.
Not a shot Wisher takes too often, but with the shot clock winding down, 4 seconds remaining on it, was a shot she needed to take.
Taylor with Fridays on her. Drives hard, reverse blocked by Fridays. Yet another big time defensive play for the Cobras. Throws it off the leg of Hackman. So it'll stay with Kilsyth.
They're just doing the little things, Kilsyth, to make sure that this lead stays under their control and that their opportunity to take this game in front of such a fantastic home crowd remains positive.
It's a strong denial from Fridays on the youngster Taylor. Here's Booth with Bow on it. Inside to Wisher. She's fouled by Taylor, so that'll be 2 shots for Clara Wisher.
Taylor's third personal. Clara Wisher to shoot 2. Add to an already impressive stat line of 13 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals and 2 blocks.
Wow. Looks like we could be a 4x5 game for Clara Wisher with 2 steals as well to go with that. 2 blocks, sorry. She has 4 steals to her name, Clara Wisher, so up to 14 points now.
Makes that 2 from 2. Clara Wisher. Sam Wisdom would just be absolutely ecstatic with the way her and Downey have played this game.
Amor splits the double, comes up with the floater. No good on that attempt though.
Wisher picks up her 10th rebound, a double-double.
Outstanding Clara Wisher tonight for the Cobras. She's nice pass to Lauren Nicholson.
And to go with that, that's her 6th assist. Just a fantastic all-round game.
Triple-double maybe, Pete?
Oh, with the way she's playing, it's definitely doable. 6 minutes, 4 assists, she can do it.
Absolutely, we'd love to see that here.
She deserves it.
Well, she's been everywhere tonight, Clara Wisher. Here's Amor now. Nicholson on her, doing a good job stopping her, but Amor finds her way for a floater. No good though. Nicholson, what could she do here? Sees a wall of rush defenders. Over to Tassari. Been a little bit quiet tonight by her standards, Cara Tassari.
Well, she hasn't needed to do anything. There've been such strong contributions right across the board that the reliance on her has been very, very minimal, and she'd be probably very happy with that.
Lauren Nicholson really illustrating that point right there as she gets the N1 to go.
Nicholson just deadly. 29 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals. It's been fantastic. And Wisher going to take a much, much, much deserved rest here to probably sit out the remainder of this game, giving some of the younger generation an opportunity. But what a game she's played.
She has been outstanding, as has Lauren Nicholson, who is up to 30 points in the game, Lauren Nicholson.
And it's a 13-0 run for Kilsyth to extend this lead out to 25 points.
Wow. All of a sudden, this one has blown right out.
We haven't seen a score from the Ballarat Rush since the 19 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Salt in the wounds as well as Amor is called for a travel.
Turnover number 16 for the Rush.
So after taking care of business with the ball in the third period, it seems to have unravelled here. 5 turnovers so far in the period for Ballarat. Nicholson on the wing. Booth presenting.
The thing that I've loved most about this game tonight, Liam, over the course of this season, they've had to rely a little bit on their three-point shooting, Kilsyth. And tonight they've just said, you know, we've taken 3 of 15. Not fantastic shooting percentage at 20%, but they have counteracted in every other part of their game so that it hasn't had any impact whatsoever. And that's danger for the rest of the competition. Because if Kilsyth isn't hitting their threes and they're still getting jobs done at this type of percentages from the field, then there's a lot to love.
Certainly been very balanced defensively tonight. I mean, the ability to kick it down low to Booth. She makes things happen down low. The likes of Wisher and Downey cutting to the rim, doing really well off the wing. A lot of options here, and obviously, as you said before, Tassari hasn't been required tonight to bomb them from long range, but nonetheless still draws attention from defenders, which creates that space for the others.
Certainly does. And the defensive pressure right now by the Kilsyth Cobras really kind of putting their foot on the throat of the Ballarat rush, trying to eliminate any opportunity for them to get a shot off. And as we say, great cut from young Constable. Actually, it's not Constable. Young Annie Collins.
Lovely dry baseline to find Bow wide open under the ring. So it's a timeout here on the floor. A 23-point margin with just over 5 minutes remaining in this one. Kilsyth are well in control and look on their way to going 4-4 on the season.
50%, it's not a bad effort. They've just got to win some games on the road. That's 4 home games that they've won. The support that they get from the crowd here has been fantastic, and it's really getting them across the line in the close ones. But they need to get those wins on the road.
Certainly gives you a real building block going into, you know, the last 2/3 of the season. If you can win your games at home and get a few on the road, all of a sudden you're pushing up into that top 8 range, aren't you?
Certainly within contention in that situation. Just a couple of quick thank yous to some supporters of Kilsyth. Bell Real Estate, fantastic group, doing some great work within the community right across the board. Travel Associates, Brazilian Butterfly, and the Yarra Valley Cabinet Makers round out some fantastic supporters that are on the sidelines here, allowing the Kilsyth Cobras NBL1 program to progress into this inaugural season.
So Kilsyth still bringing some of their stars back out to finish this game. Nicholson and Booth out there. The youngster Haberfield as well.
Carmack, the veteran, still hasn't taken that shot from the corner in her favourite spot yet tonight. Hasn't been given the freedom.
Plenty of time remaining in this one to see it. 5 minutes to go. Nicholson. Mathers wide open down low. They did well to come over and recover there, Ballarat. Here's Jenkins. Millie Cracknell checking into the game for the first time.
Cochrane back into the game for Ballarat despite her 4 fouls. Valuable 2 points there. 21-point margin.
And Annie Collins, the youngster, only 15 years of age for Ballarat, so getting some youth out there.
Fantastic opportunity for young Annie. Taking on the likes of one of the veterans of the NBL1, Siebel, WNBL. A lot of experience in Claire Carmack. So great opportunity for Annie Collins to picking up a player of that calibre.
Absolutely.
Bow checking out. That'll probably be it for her for tonight. Blower to come in to get some experienced minutes into her.
Bow finishes with 12 points and 4 rebounds, if that is the last time we see her tonight. She's fought hard.
So on average with her scoring, but her rebounding not quite there tonight, as we've seen in the 15 rebound differential between the two teams.
Cochrane out to Collins. She'll fire now, the youngster. Off on that occasion. Jenkins comes up with the offensive rebound. She's going to dribble it out and reset, though, for Ballarat.
Young Millie Cracknell is an exciting little prospect for Ballarat as well, getting some minutes.
Travel there on
Blower just needing to plant her foot there and just turn. Try and get a seal on Booth. But unfortunately, Booth allowing her a little bit of freedom there and causing that turnover.
Almost looked like she pulled the chair somewhat there on Blower.
It certainly did, yeah, correct.
Here's Mathers. Over to Nicholson. She's up to 30 in the game. Haberfield thought about it. Over to Nicholson. Pulls up from the key and gets it to go. Lauren Nicholson having herself a very nice evening. Collins in the corner, back out to Jenkins. Here's Cochrane at the top. Jenkins is open, she'll fire. No good on that attempt. So Collins, well done there to come up with the offensive rebound. Cochrane's got herself some space. She fires and it's good for Ballarat. They get a nice 2 there. Stems the bleeding somewhat. Carmack over to Haberfield. Cracknell nearly got a hand in. Carmack finds Mathers with a bit of space. Jenkins is called for the foul, so it'll be 2 shots here for Mathers. comes Constable. Jenkins checking out for Ballarat.
So going completely to a bench now. The Rush are going to probably get some valuable minutes into these girls. The deficit is blown out. It's not going to be a positive result for Ballarat, but they've got to look at the ways in which they can grow their squad, grow their youth. And Eric Hayes, although he'd be disappointed with the loss, if he can get some good minutes into these girls, it's only going to help them going forward. And unfortunately, Blower picking up an unnecessary foul. That could be the 5th personal. It's her 4th personal, but it could. Sorry, it's not on them. It's on Kilsyth. I thought it was going to be a shooting penalty there, Liam.
So it'll stay with Ballarat. Here's Constable in the corner.
Haberfield not liking that call, but it could have gone either way in that situation. A lot of people just streaming into the stadium right now, which is fantastic to see.
Looks like we're in for a massive crowd. Every time I look over at the door, there's someone new coming in the arena. So people are coming in for the Cobras and the Rush. And next, of course, the NBL1 game of the week, the Cobras and the Miners. First, second on the NBL1 ladder.
Nicholson checking out of the game with 32.7 rebounds, 2 steals. Tassari coming in for the last couple of minutes as Blower knocks down the first of 2 free throws.
Just a dominant performance from Lauren Nicholson. Really led from the front. Clara Wisher as well. A star today for Kilsyth. Stuffing the stat sheet. Got herself a double-double as well as 4 steals and 2 blocks to go along with 6 assists. Clara Wisher making it happen as Booth can't get it to go on that occasion. Here is Cracknell for Ballarat. Over to Constable. A lot of youngsters in now for Ballarat. Flooding the youth as Blower at the top. Down to Cochrane. Blower will shoot this. Really good on that attempt. Mathers comes up with a rebound. Here's Tassari. Over to Carmack. Collins pressing up right on her. Comes around the Booth screen. Carmack will let it fly. What's the call on the floor here?
Unfortunately, Booth moved on that screen. Created a little bit of extra space for Carmack, but it was a legal move. And a offensive foul called on Sarah Booth.
So Cochrane to Collins. Here's Blower. Down to Cochrane. She's found herself at some space. A little bit strong on that attempt. Inside to Blower. She hooks it up and in for 2.
Much better offensive move there from Blower. Getting her feet set in that situation. Booth out of the key, defending.
Strong drive there from Haberfield. Took the contact, created the space. So it's a 20-point margin here with a minute and a half remaining. The Kilsyth Cobras taking care of business here in round 6.
Annie Collins going to go to the line to shoot 2. Always great to see these youngsters out there giving it a go, having an opportunity to get on the scoreboard.
Yet to score a bucket this season, Annie Collins. Been playing 8 minutes a game.
And there it is. First score for the season. That's a great opportunity, and hopefully for Annie, that's a great confidence builder for her to build on that.
Big moment for young Collins. As Haberfield again, the same spot, same result. Strong driving to that right-hand side. Passes it ahead to Collins. Geez, pushing the pace is Ballarat. We'd like to see this aggression from the youngsters. Blower will pull up.
Great ball movement there, Liam. Giving them an opportunity for Blower to hit that 14-footer. It was fantastic movement from Cracknell and from Collins. And then Cochrane off to Blower.
Impressive from the Ballarat youth. Here is Carmack. Drives left. Has Constable on her. She's forced baseline. Finds Haberfield.
Liam, I'm going to have words with Carmack after the game when we have an opportunity, because she hasn't taken a shot from the corner.
Very disappointed. My first time out here at Kilsyth, and you promised me a 3-pointer from the corner.
I did. I said she's fantastic from down in that corner, and she does love it, but she hasn't spent any time anywhere near it tonight. Nicholson did hit a nice 3. off the back of a backward pass behind Hackman earlier on in the evening.
Well, 54 seconds remaining here. She is still in the game, Carmack. We never know. Haberfield gets it to go.
21 points, just under a minute now remaining in this game. It's been a fantastic defensive effort from the Cobras. Ballarat been swamped. Almost every opportunity they've had has been a tough one, Liam.
Certainly has. Some things to take out of it. It looks like something to take out of it is this young group of Ballarat players who've had some nice moments here in the last few minutes.
The lead was out to 26 points, and they've got it back to 19 at this point in time, and it's all been their youth. So a lot to love there.
Moving the ball really nicely. Sharing it around is here's Booth. Draws the foul and one.
Using her experience on a younger Claire Blower. Sarah Booth going to go to the line to shoot three the old-fashioned way, Liam.
Went against her that time, Claire Blower, but geez, it's great experience, isn't it, for these young Ballarat players to have to defend and play against the likes of Sarah Booth. So much experience and class.
Yeah, there's nothing detrimental about the way in which the Ballarat youth and especially the team as a whole have taken on the strength of the Kilsyth. We looked at this team at the start of the season and said the experience that Sam Wisdom has put together, and it's a relatively new team compared to last season. She's brought the best of the league from the previous season in, and surrounded her with some really strong veteran support. It's a really strong, deep team. If they can play consecutive games on the road really, really well, then I still think that they could be a challenger for the mighty Bendigo Braves, or Bendigo Spirit, sorry. No, Braves. Spirit being the WNBL team.
Yeah, it is a little confusing. The Braves, of course, winning last season, defeating the Launceston Tornadoes, who Lauren Nicholson was a part of. So you're right, quite literally they brought in the best from last year as Nicholson.
They certainly did.
The reigning MVP.
So just under 20 seconds remaining in this first of two home games, and the game of the round still to come for the men's program.
Sarah Booth gets it to drop out to a 22-point margin. Geez, the Cobra is still pressing up here. Cochrane, it's going to be a turnover there. Effort is rewarded. Relentless to the final buzzer, Kilsyth.
So Kilsyth should hold this out for 13 seconds. Get a shot off potentially, but it will be the last shot of the game, you would expect.
Well, here's Carmack. Tasari wide open. Could she get this one to go? No good on that occasion. Cochrane corrals it, and that'll do it here at Kilsyth Basketball Stadium. The Cobras come away 22-point winners over the Ballarat Rush. Lauren Nicholson was outstanding with 32 points. Meanwhile, Clara Wisher as well, a double-double, 15 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. She was fantastic, wasn't she?
That's a mouthful. That many statistics. She's a stat sheet stuffer. Is Clara Wisher. Fantastic game tonight. Supported amazingly by Lauren Nicholson. Sarah Booth with 16 points, which has been fantastic for her too. A bit of an inside-outside game and hitting that nice three early on in that third quarter. Just a great all-round performance. Cara Tasari would not be disappointed that she wasn't a major contributor from the points perspective, because her defensive tenacity was sensational, causing a lot of those 18 turnovers that Ballarat did commit.
Yeah, the turnovers were certainly a story in the first quarter especially, and how about the offensive rebounding count? 20 offensive rebounds for the Kilsyth Cobras. They dominated on the glass, really.
They just attacked the basket, every opportunity to give themselves as many double opportunities they possibly can, and that's the key to success in this program. And we're going to see it in the men's game shortly when we come back. But just a fantastic effort right across the board on the rebounds for Kilsyth tonight.
Well, from the Ballarat perspective, Georgia Amor was impressive, creating her shot nicely. She led the rush in scoring with 14. Bow had 12 of her own. Lucy Cochrane was impressive, I thought, as well. 13 points and 6 rebounds. A bit to like there from some of the youngsters out of Ballarat.
Certainly, Lucy, great effort, averaging 4.5 or 4.25 a game this season to come out with 13 points, and some nice work in the mid-range as well, creating some more space for herself. It's again, there's a lot to like about the future of Ballarat basketball. That's a young team versus a very experienced veteran team here in Kilsyth. So, and a result to be expected, but not a result to be disappointed with if you're Ballarat.
Yeah, it's spot on, Pete. They will go to 4-4, the Kilsyth Cobras. They sit at 500. Ballarat still looking for a win, but they fought hard today. We'll be back, I believe, in about 10 minutes, Pete, for the second game of this doubleheader, the NBL1 game of the week. The Cobras and the undefeated Ballarat Miners coming off a 63-point win against the Bandits last week. We'll see you guys very soon.